Hi, I'm Joanne Suh, and I'm a Senior Vice President at Radius Illumination.
And I'm Eric Jensen, a senior leader at Radius Research.
So today we're going to be talking about customer journey and how COVID impacted how we approach research in this space. When stay-at-home and social distancing orders were set, people were forced to try new methods of fulfillment. While some had already embraced these alternative fulfillment methods, many were exploring them for the first time. And as we know, these methods like curbside pickup and delivery significantly change purchase triggers and key touch points in comparison to traditional in-store shopping. What we've seen is that a large percentage of these people recognize the benefits of these methods and have continued to use them even as stores open back up.
That's right, Joanne. And it was just over a year ago, COVID-19 restrictions stopped in home and observational research practically overnight. As a result, our clients in the customer journey space lost their ability to actually see how consumers research, evaluate, purchase, and ultimately remain loyal. But as we all know, necessity is the mother of invention and it drives innovation faster than just about anything else. And now, more than ever, it's time to leverage highly innovative solutions to regain the ability to see how consumers have modified their purchase journey. Now is not the time to sit back and wait for other market leaders to set the agenda, as they will gain the critical insight into consumers and make inroads into this new market. To sustain or regain growth in 2021 and beyond, brands will need to continue generating innovative offerings and experiences to best understand customer needs and behaviors as they will continue to change.
Right. And so now manufacturers are in a position where they need to re examine the customer journey for their brands, given this more mainstream shift towards omni channel shopping. They really need to relearn how consumers approach shopping and make these omni-channel decisions within their categories. It will be important for them to determine the most influential touch points so they're putting their marketing efforts and dollars where they'll get the greatest ROI. So, how do you get deep and relevant journey insights? Well, the great thing for us at Radius is that we were already approaching the customer journey in this way even prior to the pandemic, recognizing that it's truly a holistic journey that involves consumers moving in and out of various pieces of that journey, from, for instance, researcher to purchaser to influencer. And to study the holistic journey, we leverage a combination of immersive methods focused on behaviors and observation, coupled with data science techniques and modeling to determine the most common touch points, influences, and conversion triggers on that omni-channel path to purchase.
Yeah, so really the next question is, so what are some of the benefits of mapping out a holistic journey? So I'll share four primary benefits. The first is to establish an overall picture of the purchase process and helping you target the right message to the right audience at the right time and in the right manner. You will also be able to identify white space opportunities and broaden and deepen new and existing channels. A second benefit is to pinpoint critical touch points that organizations can leverage to influence consumers along the way. In a very granular fashion, you can determine where to intervene and make necessary adjustments to your product and service delivery. Third benefit, identify unique purchase pathways, understanding which specific touch points are most influential in each journey, and to help organizations target the right consumers along their unique pathway. And finally, fourth, prioritize information. That is, identify what is important to consumers during their journey to help prioritize what organizations highlight on their websites and other communications.
So, we work with a lot of different clients across various industries to uncover the holistic customer journey, from CPG to technology manufacturers to the medical industry. And all of these brands have determined the importance of understanding how their brand is evaluated, considered, and eventually purchased. In one recent project, we were looking at the consumer journey for cleaning products in the non traditional home improvement channel to determine if retailers were carrying the right assortment of products and organizing them in a way that made sense to shoppers. For this, we sought to learn about the holistic home improvement shopping journey in order to determine how cleaning products fit into that shopping trip. And through the research, we were able to guide our client on the needs of shoppers as well as potential ways to influence them on that path to purchase. So the question is, should brands prioritize touch points to drive purchase? Absolutely. Eric, I'd love to know, why do you think it's important to identify key moments and touch points?
Yeah, well, it certainly is important, Joanne, and that's a great question. It's really all about budgets, scarce resources. By identifying what really matters to consumers, organizations can triage their funds, prioritizing and focusing on targeting the right message to the right audience at the right time and in the right manner. So let's look at a recent example of an investment made by a client. So the business challenge was, how do I understand consumers? How do I understand how consumers move through the mortgage refinance application decision process, from research through application and post-application? Secondly, identify those key touch points during the journey the organization can leverage to influence consumers along the way. Now, our approach included a series of in-depth interviews to inform the quantitative questionnaire. This was then shortly followed by an online quantitative survey. The result: we identified white space opportunities for growing the brand. We identified the interaction across the various phases of the journey to create unique pathways, understanding which touch points are most influential in each journey to help target the right customers. Finally, it gave understanding to the types of information that are most important to consumers during their journey to help prioritize what the company highlights on its website and app. The client is now moving to market with more confidence, knowing what's now important to consumers. To date, they have realized real revenue gains and increased retention. Bottom line, it is incumbent upon organizations today to keep the pulse on your consumers. Not doing so will open yourself up to lost opportunity and ultimately lost revenue. Now is the critical time to gauge the consumer journey.